Hey gang, Taki here, and in this quick video I want to show you the triage pad, the one-page worksheet that I use to qualify buyers better and to build trust super fast. Alright, so let's do this. I want to talk to you quickly about the triage call. It's a 9-minute phone call that we use to build trust really quickly with potential clients and to qualify in or out fast so that we don't waste anybody's time, not their time and not our time, talking to somebody who's not ready to buy, not ready to become a client. Does that make sense? So people book in these triage calls, these kind of 10-minute phone calls, and when they're on their call, there are 9 questions that I ask. And while I ask the questions, good to take notes, right? Okay, so jump on this triage call, and while I'm on the triage call, I take notes because it keeps me focused, make sure I ask the right questions, gives me call control, right? And so I think that's something that you want. You want call control as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip screens and show you how this triage call pad goes. Now, like I said, most of my clients just have a pad of these, like printed out, like a notepad full of these things, like 50 to a thing to get them through the next 50 triage calls. But I'm on the road, and so taking a notepad's annoying. I just do it here on a iPad. And so what you'll see is 9 simple questions, and this is all of the people who've been triaged recently, right? So business is on a kind of a growth tear, which is awesome. And you'll see that on some of them it says in. In other words, they're a good match, and some of them it'll say not in. Like they might be referred off to somewhere else, or maybe joined our course instead of Black Belt. Does that make sense? So let's just jump in right here. By the way, if you want to get a copy, just comment the word PAD below, PAD, and in capital letters, and I'll hook you up. Okay, so here's how it works. Jump on a call. Start by writing in dude's name, Bob, and the date, usually Bob Smith, and 2018, whatever the date is, right? So then we welcome and we set up the call, and I just find it really helpful to use a pad like this while we're doing it. A, it keeps me on track. B, it means when we have the strategy session a few days, or usually for us like a week later, then I can just look at this, and in 20 seconds I know exactly what we discussed and where we can pick up where we left off. Does that make sense? So we set up the rules, and this is where we explain the time frame, what we're going to cover, how it's going to work, that our job's to work out if we're a fit or not, if we're not, what'll happen, if we are, what'll happen, etc. Really important that you get the first minute right. And so the first minute for me would sound something like, hey there, it's Taki Moore here. I'm calling from Brazil right now. I've got a note in my calendar that we've got a 10-minute call right now. Is that right? And I'll say, yep, great. Okay, so as I said, we've only got 10 minutes. I've got somebody booked in straight after you. So let's get straight into it. My goal today is really simple. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions just to work out if or how we can help you. Is that okay? Yep. Great. Okay, so if I feel like I can't help you, I'll let you know politely, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. And if I feel like I can help you, we'll book in another time to talk about how. Is that okay with you? Cool. Okay, great. So, like I said, we don't have a lot of time. I'll ask you simple questions. If you can give me kind of simple, straight answers, it's going to be great. Let's get started, and then away we go. And so that's. And you notice in that opening minute, a few things happen, right? We set up the call. In that opening minute, it's really clear who's leading and who's following. It's also super clear. That there's a time frame, and that because of that, our time is super valuable, and therefore we're the boss, right? We're in control. It also says what's going to happen if we're not a fit, that I'll point you in the right direction, and if we are a fit, that we will book another time. We'll book another time to talk about how. So at the end, I don't have to sell the next call. It's already baked into this opening minute, right? So usually in the pad, I don't really take any notes here. I just kind of tick it. Cool. And then we get into the rest of it. The decision question, why now and why me? And when they answer, I'll take my notes. why now? I don't want to go without the why now mapped out. And why me is always really, really good to hear. Then we find out about their business. Who do you help? What problems do you solve? And how does it work? And that just gives me a quick sense of business model. Is this somebody that that our work might be useful for? Then we stretch the gap. And here I want to know across a few different categories. Income, where are they right now? Where do they want to be? What's the trend? Like, is the business growing, or is it fairly stable, or is it declining? Right? Where do you want to be in 3 years? And that just gives me a sense of the gap, and I'll be taking notes the whole way through. What's missing or broken right now? Again, top 3 things that they need us to work on. And so for me, as I'm taking notes in this pad, it's really easy for me to be useful because I've got all of their whole situation on a 1-page snapshot. So as we're having this quick 9-minute conversation, and also in the strat session, I've got everything I need to know about them here on 1 page. Also, if you have salespeople, and so maybe the person triaging isn't the person who's doing the sales conversation, again, really easy to hand this off. They can look at that and they know exactly what's going on, right? While they're talking through, through what's missing and broken, and what do you need most right now, and is this a later thing or a sooner thing? If that's a clock, what I do is I just highlight or circle like the 3 biggest issues, whatever they come up, that are the 3 big things. Because here in the problem check-in, I say, great. So here's what it sounds like is going on for you right now. The 3 biggest problems are problem 1 and problem 2 and problem 3. And I just kind of, you got this problem and this is the impact. You really want to do that, but it's not working out and you're frustrated because of X. Have I kind of got that right? And all I'm doing is, because I've got it all on this pad, it's really easy for me just to look at the 3 things that I've circled and feed it back to the potential client. And then we get to the end, the part where we show them the door. We decide they're either a fit or not. And we're the Simon Cowell in this situation. We're the Simon Cowell in this situation, and so we can either open the door and say, hey, you're a great match. I said right at the start that our job today was really simple, so I was going to ask you some questions, and if I felt like we weren't a fit, I would point you in another direction. I really don't think we're a match because of X, so you should talk to Mary, and here's why she might be great. Or if we are a fit, I said right at the start of the call today that my job is to ask you a bunch of quick questions to work out if or how we can help. And if I felt like I couldn't help, this is what we do. If I felt like I could help, then we book another time to talk about how. The good news is that I eat problems like this for breakfast. And so the next step for us is to book in another time to talk about how. And then all we do is we just schedule them in for the next time. And there's a little bit of scripting around that, but really simple. But here's what's really important for me is having a tool, like having having to remember a script is hard, right? And it's uncomfortable and awkward, but having a simple tool, a worksheet that just walks me through, it's been really, really helpful. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. It's been great. Hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the comments below. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon.